Zionism is strangling free speech in Australia. A Palestinian-Australian man has been criminally charged for voicing criticisms of Zionism during a protest against Israel's genocide in Gaza. He could spend months in prison. The Age reports that restaurant owner Taye has been charged with 4 counts of using insulting words in public for repeatedly uttering the phrase, "all Zionists are terrorists," at a pro-Palestine rally in Melbourne last year. According to The Age's Chris Vitilago, the punishment for this crime of political speech is up to 2 months in prison for a first offense and 6 months for 3 or more offenses. It is believed to be the first time that potential political speech has been deemed a criminal offense that breached the insulting law, Vitilago reports, adding, "The charges are normally levied for using abusive or obscene language against police officers." You really couldn't ask for a better illustration of the authoritarian dystopia that Australia has become than a news report about a man getting criminally charged for normal political speech with a law that is normally used to jail people who speak impolitely to the police. These charges for speech crimes against Zionism follow a controversial assertion made last year by Australia's Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, quote, "The label Zionist is used not in any way accurately. When critics use that word, they actually mean Jew. They're not really saying Zionist. They're saying Jew because they know that they cannot say Jew, so they say Zionist or words such as Zio or Zio," end quote. Dreyfus might want to have a chat with outgoing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who just made headlines by proudly proclaiming "I am a Zionist" at his final press conference on Thursday. Trudeau is not Jewish, nor is genocidal war criminal Joe Biden, who is on record saying on numerous occasions some variation of "I'm a Zionist, you don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist." Not all Jews are Zionists, and most Zionists are not Jewish. Zionism is a political ideology which upholds the Western decision to drop an abusive apartheid ethno-state on top of a pre-existing civilization in historic Palestine and defend it by any amount of violence and tyranny necessary. And the majority of the people you see defending this status quo are Westerners with no connection to the Jewish faith. The cult of Christian Zionism alone outnumbers the world's Jewish population by about 2 to 1. It is therefore wildly incorrect to conflate Zionism with Judaism, and it is also highly immoral. People who do this are assigning all Jews the blame for Israel's abuses, when the blame actually lies with the state of Israel and its Western backers. As much as Israel apologists shriek and moan about anti-Semitism when they really mean supporting Palestinians, the real anti-Semitism problem in our society is the way our ruling institutions keep lumping all Jews in with the abuses of a genocidal apartheid state and the Western Empire which supports it. That's all the imaginary anti-Semitism crisis really is in reality. People conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. If you declare that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and then Zionism starts butchering children by the tens of thousands in a genocidal onslaught, you are naturally going to see a rapid rise in anti-Semitism as you have defined it. It's a fallacious narrative used to justify the strangulation of political speech we are seeing today. We are seeing that strangulation surge ahead in Australia with the McCarthyite witch hunt against pro-Palestinian voices, and in a decision by Australian universities to espouse a definition of anti-Semitism which is so speech-suppressing that it has been denounced by Amnesty International. We are also seeing Zionism strangling free speech throughout the Western world. German police are routinely assaulting pro-Palestine demonstrators. Pro-Palestinian journalists are being persecuted with increasing aggression in the UK and throughout Europe. In the U.S., the Trump administration is working to stomp out pro-Palestine protests on university campuses while using AI to compile lists of people suspected of expressing support for Hamas on social media. Almost every day, we're seeing some new escalation in the Western Empire's efforts to stomp out speech that is critical of Israel. Westerners need to understand that we have moved far beyond the point where Israel is a threat only to Middle Eastern lives. It's a threat to us all, because the Western governments who support it are stomping out our basic freedoms with increasing aggression in order to silence all criticisms of its abuses. Even if you didn't have enough compassion to oppose Israel and its Western backers because of their genocidal atrocities in the Middle East, at this point you need to start opposing them out of sheer self-preservation. This isn't just about foreigners overseas anymore. It's about you, your rights, your freedom to voice your political opinions. Zionism is a threat to civil rights everywhere. Zionism threatens us all.